Hi, it's Caitlin from Caitlin Swatches, and I'm here today with my April HHC swatch video. So if anyone is not familiar with HHC, it is a monthly pre-order shop that opens on the 14th and closes on the 21st. I will include the specific times down in the description. And all of the polishes that you see in today's video are exclusive to HHC. You can only order them from April 14th through the 21st. And they'll ship out about 4 weeks after the shop closes on April 21st. Without further ado, let's get into the swatches. First up, we have Girly Bits Have Plunger Will Travel. And Girly Bits is back after a little bit of a hiatus from HHC, and she's continuing her Marvelous Mrs. Maisel series. And this polish is a smoky purple base with a turquoise green to violet red shifting multi-chrome shimmer. And as you can see, this one goes on sheer in the first coat, but it does build up. I think some people could like it in 2 coats, but you can still see a bit of my nail underneath, so I am going to build it up in 3. And this one has a really nice multi-chrome shift to it. It is really interesting when you get it in different lighting, so I'm going to show it to you as I always do in as many different lighting situations as I can find. And here, as you can see on that 3rd coat, it's looking opaque, and I will recommend top coat because it does dry down just a little bit dull. And the dry time is really good on this. It pretty much was dry by the time I finished painting one hand and could continue with the next coat and then the next coat. And this won't be difficult to remove, obviously. And as you can see here, it is super shifty. It's really beautiful. I love it at the extreme angle here. I love that sort of reddy, purpley, pinky shift to it. And this one's quite unique. I know there's a lot of sort of turquoise, purpley blue shifts, but this one is slightly different with that addition of the red. So this is pretty unique in my collection and I like it a lot. Next up is Sassy Sauce Afterglow, and this one is a continuation of her Butterfly series, and this one's described as a sheer bubblegum base with glowy gold to green to blue to violet shift, and a blue to violet shifting ghost flake that pops when the light bends through them. So this one is really, really beautiful, and it does have a sheer formula, and I liked it in 2. You might get full opacity if you try it in 3, but it is on the sheer side, so I preferred how it looked in 2 instead of trying to get it opaque, just leaving it a little bit on the sheer side. And the formula is fantastic. As you can see, it does have just a bit of dullness after the 2 coats, so of course use a good glossy top coat or matte if you're into that. And those ghost flakies are really cute. They're really nice complement to the shifts in this polish, and I just loved wearing this one. I think it's really dainty, it's really pretty, and that shift is so glowy. I love anything with a blue sort of violet shift to it, and I think this looks fantastic in every lighting, so I'm trying to show it off in all the different situations I had. There was no sun, unfortunately, but it looks really great on an overcast day, which is kind of the only weather we seem to be having lately. And here we have Bee's Knees Lacquer Evil Comes in Every Size, and this is a continuation of their Ice 9 Kills series, and this one is inspired by the song called Assault and Batteries. And this one is described as a mid-tone blue Dumicorn sister with the same green to blue shimmer. So this one has a fantastic formula. As you can see, it's obviously on the sheer side, and I'm going to build this one up in 3 coats just to show it as opaque as I could possibly get it. And I think that the green to blue shimmer in this just works really, really well with the base color. They do describe it as a mid-tone blue, but to me it's coming off almost more of like a teal turquoise, but it's just a really beautiful color. And of course the shimmer works so well with the base, and who doesn't love the Dumicorn polish? So I'm always happy to see siblings of that color. And this one, it dries down relatively shiny, but I will always recommend a glossy top coat just to make it as glossy and juicy looking as possible. And this one will obviously be quite shifty, as you're going to see in a second. So at the extreme angles, you get a really rich blue, and then when you get it under direct light, you definitely get that green shift. And I just think that this is a gorgeous polish, and it has a fantastic formula like every Bee's Knees lacquer does, and I love it. Here we have Cupcake Polish Picture Perfect Plan, and this one is a royal blue polish filled with teal, pink, lime green, red, and purple metallic flakies and holographic micro flakies. So this is obviously a sheer base for this polish, and I think it's so fun. I think I squealed when I started painting my nails and saw all of the pretty rainbow of metallic flakes in this one. This polish just screams Lizzie McGuire, which is the series that it's part of, and it's fulfilling all of my early 2000s preteen fantasies. I don't know, that doesn't really make sense, but honestly, I would have loved this polish when I was younger, and this is so cute. So I am going to build this one up in 3 coats because it does have a sheer formula. This is really easy to build up, and all of those flakes came out really easily. Some of them are on the bigger side, so just, be careful not to overload your brush. I think it's better to work in 3 thin coats than trying to get it opaque in 2. And as you can see, it does build up to opacity pretty much for me in 3 coats. You could definitely layer this if that was your preference, but I think it's really fun to see all of those colors build up in the 3 coats. And this one does dry down dull and with some texture, so you will need a glossy top coat, but this is not going to require a glitter grabber. It smoothed out for me with 1 layer of Cuticular Limitless top coat, and this will also not be difficult to remove because the flakes are not glitter. It's going to be easy to remove. So here it is in 3 coats plus top coat. This one is honestly so much fun. I just love the way that those colorful flakes pop against the base. It's just so fun. Unfortunately, I didn't have any sun to show off the holo, but it's there. It brings everything together, and it's adorable. Moving along, we have Painted Polish Blushing Blooms, and this is a continuation of Painted Polish's I Love Blush series, and they debuted in the HHC shop last month, so this is their 2nd month participating. And this one is a blush shade Crelly featuring sea green, emerald, and moss green metallic glitters. And this one is just a dream to work with. Painted Polish has a fantastic formula, so I achieve opacity in just 2 coats. But because there are glitters in this, it will dry textured, and it will be a little bit difficult to remove because the glitters usually require scrubbing to get off. I am showing it with just 1 layer of top coat, but if I was wearing this out and about, it does dry down with texture, so I recommend a glitter grabber top coat and then a glossy top coat over that. So here it is in 2 coats plus top coat. You can see just how pretty this is. The green complements the blush shade really nicely, and This one definitely feels very spring appropriate, and it's just a pretty twist on a neutral. Moving along, we have Femme Fatale Feline Tied Down, and this is part of their oceanic theme. This one is described as a soft and sheer violet base with luminous blue to green to purple sheen and silver reflective glitters. So this one is ideal in 3 coats, but I was happy with it in 2 personally, and this will be a polish that you probably want to use a glitter grabber plus a top coat, just because the reflective glitters do give it a lot of texture. But this one is really pretty. Obviously my nails are super short when I swatched this one, so that's probably why I was okay with 2 coats. But I really like the way this one applied. I thought with the reflective glitters, they were done with a light hand. They weren't, overused by any stretch of the imagination, so I didn't find it difficult to work with. It went on very smoothly, and I am applying just the 1 layer of top coat here, but again, if you're planning on wearing this out and about or for a few days, you will definitely want 2 layers of top coat or a glitter smoother and then top coat over it. And as you can see, this is a beautiful polish. I love the color shift in it. I think that this sort of greeny with the purple just works really well. And I was just surprised by how much I liked this polish. And I'm showing it off here with the camera flash so you can see that reflective glitter twinkling as it does. And last but not least, we have Paint It Pretty polish. This is a continuation of their This or That series, which is really fun. So this month we have Clicker or Remote, and they were inspired by what I would call a remote, so you can change the channel, but I guess some people call it a clicker. And this one is a silver magnetic polish with a blue to purple shimmer. So this one is incredibly unique, and how I applied it was I went in with 1 coat just to provide myself with a base, and then I applied a 2nd coat, which I applied the magnet to, holding the magnet over your nail for as long as possible. And as you can already see, this is a beautiful polish. I really love the pull of the magnet, and this is also a polish that you could definitely wear without magnetizing it, but I'm showing it as it was intended. And after I've applied the 2nd coat, I go in with a 3rd coat, which I also apply the magnet to. And as you can see, this is a really good formula on the polish. It dries quickly in between coats, and it won't be difficult to remove because it's just shimmer in there. And the magnet I'm using, for anyone who's curious, is the Neodymium bar magnet. It came with a polish years ago, but the brand doesn't even exist anymore. So if you can find a bar magnet online anywhere, I'm sure it's the same and it will do the trick. So after I magnetize the 2nd coat and the 3rd coat, I'm applying top coat just to make it as shiny as possible. This one is giving me like very Y2K futuristic vibe to it. It's just really interesting, and it's kind of like cyborg nails. I really like this one. And I'm also applying the magnet after I apply the top coat just because it makes the polish wet again, and if you don't apply the magnetic stripe will sort of spread out, but it's not mandatory. I just recommend it if you want a nice tight metallic line like you're seeing here. So this is it in 3 coats of polish plus top coat. And as you can see here, the blue shimmer to it is very glowy. I absolutely love a glowy blue shimmer, and this one is beautiful. It also shifts to sort of a violet, And this kind of has a somewhat etherealness to it. It's just a really interesting polish, and here you can see that silver stripe is almost like a cloud or fog, and I just think it's super interesting and pretty. This month for HHC is one of those ones where I kind of loved everything that I swatched, but if I was pressed to pick my absolute favorites, I would say that the Sassy Sauce is incredibly gorgeous. I love just a dainty, really pretty soft pink, and that one just delivered on all fronts. There's shimmer in it, the flakes are really beautiful and elegant, and I love how everything comes together. So comment below and let me know if any of these polishes will be making it into your HHC shopping cart. Let me know what else is on your wish list, and I hope you have a great day wherever you are. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!